Welcome to another Scars podcast. We have an awesome guest today, Kyle Cornman, who has a new endeavor that he's near and dear to his heart. We got our brother Brett Key here in the house. Good to see him.
Nice to be back.
Yeah. You've been busy.
A little busy. It's all good.
A lot of training going on here
Yep.
for our first responders and veterans. All right, Kyle, I'm going to go right off the top. You now are owner and proprietor of a gun range tactical shooting academy out in Yukon, Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
And for whatever reason, you have a banana on your cap.
Absolutely.
That says Tactical 66
Yep.
on it.
Mm-hmm.
So what is bananas and firearms? Like, do you get awards out there? The bigger the gun, the bigger the banana, or
No,
like how does that work?
So we, it's kind of a funny story. We, rule number 12 is don't ask about the banana. Never ask about the banana. That's the rule written. It's written in stone at the range.
It's etched in a tablet somewhere.
It's all over the range. You look out there at the sheets, and it's rule number.
Well,
12.
you got big bananas around there.
We do.
I'm telling you, they're bigger than life-size bananas.
They're everywhere. Yeah, and they're drippy bananas too. Yeah.
Wow.
So you can see it's melting. But so the thing with the banana is I was sitting designing some shirts. This shirt, actually, to be specific. And I was putting the American flag on the sleeve just because I wanted the American flag on the sleeve. And right next to the American flag, there was like a stock photo of this banana. And I accidentally clicked it. And it popped up on the sleeve. And one of our instructors and one of my really good friends, and I've trained with him for 2 years, John Ross, was standing behind me. And he said, it's like, what's the deal with the banana? And I was like, dude, don't ask about the banana. And he's like, that's our marketing thing from here on out. He's like, that's it. Never ask about the banana. So we left it on the shirt and we've just rolled with it. And we've got some friends and people that come to the range and shoot and stuff. And one of them, she's high-level marketing at a big high-profile company here in town. And she was like, that is genius. Never, ever get rid of that.
That's it.
So we've just left it. We love it. It's a big conversation piece. It's funny. I bought,
awesome.
I bought a yellow G-Shock, and we've got a couple guys that were affiliated with the range, Carrying Custom Shop, and Young Bucks Customs that built me a Glock. And it's got the banana on the grip.
Oh, wow.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, so it's awesome.
Ty, we got to
awesome,
get that
man.
and put that up, man. That's so cool.
good.
We're going to
Yeah.
see that. That's going to be on the podcast.
It's on my Instagram. Yeah, you can pull it right off there. Yeah,
That's incredible.
So it's pretty sweet. But yeah, it's really just something funny, just a conversation piece. My kids like it because they're Savannah Banana Butt.
Yes.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
They're all baseball fans. And then
How do we get them to come out to the range?
the Savannah Banana guys?
Yes.
Man, wouldn't that be awesome?
How
That'd be
flipping
so
cool would that
Yeah,
be?
that might be a new task. That's a new mission.
Put that on
there.
put it on the vision board
Put it
right
on
there.
the vision board. I like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
But
love
it feels, the Highway Patrol, you probably had nicknames for everybody, but it feels real, like a military thing. Don't ask about it, but it popped up and you really don't want to know the story about it. And so it can take a life of its own. It's like, my God, that story's got to be awful or really funny, but they're not going to talk to it about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Let it go, man.
it's-
Don't ask about it.
I love it when people come into the range that have never been there before because we have a store in there, and we're trying to grow the store. It's nothing crazy right now, but people walk in off the street and they're like, "What's the deal with the banana?" I'm like, "Rule 12," and we just leave.
Leave it.
We just leave it, and then
That's
like
so awesome.
they walk out like, "What is going on?" every time, and it's my favorite thing. Yeah.
So I've been to the range a couple times,
Yep.
and fortunately we've been able to partner together with
sir.
Scars and Stripes Coffee. I'm very excited about
Yeah,
this.
us too.
I mean, we're so excited about the community, and we felt the first time we walked in, hey, we're at the right place.
Yeah.
We've been to a couple other ranges and things like that to try to, and it was just very not welcoming.
Right.
That's the best way I can put it.
Yep.
I have been to some other ranges in different states that is very welcoming, but yours is great. And I'm not kidding. My oldest son wanted to get into tactical shooting.
Yep.
We went out there for one of your Tuesday night competitions, and you would have thought we were family from forever.
Yep.
I mean, it was a 2-gun night, so we didn't have his AR with us.
Right.
Someone just said, "Don't worry about it. You can use mine," and walked him through, made him feel very comfortable, very safe.
Yep.
And really looking back on it, it was a challenging night. I mean,
Yeah.
the competition we had set up was very challenging.
Yeah, they're different, man. They're way different than any other competition you'll go to.
It reminded me of like, okay, if you're going to learn how to use a firearm, why not be able to use it tactically?
Correct.
And the only way you do that is put yourself in that situation. And people were like out of breath. They were like, I mean, my son was walking because it was his first time.
Yeah.
It was an appropriate thing to do. But
Yep.
guys that knew what they were doing, man, I'm like, okay, I could see, this is like something you see in the movies. I've never been in that situation, but
Well, our whole goal for those matches is really to look at it as $25 training. Like when you come, you've got these instructors and stuff there that are there out there with us, and these RSOs that are out there that have been training for a long time. Some of them have military experience, some don't. But a lot of us have trained tactically with a lot of military guys and a lot of special forces guys and all that stuff. So we try to implement that into the courses and into the competitions, and we're out there helping everybody. Like we're not there to run you through it and just not give you any guidance, especially the beginner classes. The advanced classes and stuff, yeah, we're going to razz you and we're going to like really make fun of you when you mess up and stuff. But the beginner classes, like we know that going into it, like, hey, we're going to really help these people. Because we have kids there. I mean, my son's 12 and he runs in the beginner class. And then we've got some 14 and 15-year-old, we got a 14-year-old girl that comes and competes with us a lot. And she's awesome. She's a beast. And so like we're trying to guide them and help them the whole time we're doing it.
I think that's wonderful. Like to be able to bring some young people out there and be able to learn how to use a firearm appropriately.
Yep.
But it's an all volunteer. Like I think the people that were out there were volunteers.
Yeah. So like those are we have Aaron Lane who works for me. He's there at the range. He's actually the postman in Piedmont. He's the mailman. Aaron's become like family to me. But he runs Wednesday night matches at Wilshire. And I met him through James with Young Bucks Custom Shops, our gunsmith and Cerakote guy at the range. Aaron just said, hey, like, why don't we do a competition here all the time? And we're like, yeah, let's do it. So Aaron kind of runs it. And I do pay Aaron to be the head guy and kind of run it and coordinate it and set up the courses and all that stuff. And then my cousin Tyler, I pay him. He just kind of helps with everything around the range. So we do pay him. But everybody else, like, we can't do it with 2 people. So I mean, we have we'll have 6 or 8 people. So we have all these members and people that are just super involved and just care. And that's the best thing about the community is like everybody's there and everybody cares about it and like it's just fun for them. So everybody just kind of jumps in. And you'll see it like if somebody needs to go do something, like just a random guy will walk up and grab the timer and be like, yeah, I got it, dude. Don't worry, like go, and like they'll run it. Like that does transmit a lot through the whole entire gun community. So if you go out to the OKC Gun Club to like a USPSA match, everybody's a little bit more serious out there, but everybody's very helpful. Like my son went to his first USPSA match out at OKC Gun Club a couple months ago. And like a couple people were walking through the courses and were just super helpful and just showing him everything. Cause I don't know anything about that style of shooting. I don't know. And they just took him under their wings and just showed him everything. So it was awesome.
I think that's the gun community in general.
I agree.
I think, and we might get into this here a little bit. I think that there is not to jump into politics, but there's this.
Jump in.
There is this. I think there's this misconception of who gun owners truly are.
Correct.
Right, and the reason that we have our guns, and it really is the complete opposite of what people think of, even on the conservative side of what people think of. Right, and I think kind of what you're talking about in this family. And let's make sure that we do it right. Let's make sure you're efficient and you're doing it safely. And they're doing it for the right reason. It's not I just think that there's just this misconception out there. And I think what you're doing, even just having met you and sitting and listening to you talk and stuff, I think it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And I think bringing that younger generation and stuff in is paramount for the direction and making sure that our Second Amendment rights don't get taken from us and go away.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
They're the ones that are. I mean, that's the future of this. So I applaud you. I think it's great. Law enforcement for almost 27 years. I used to shoot all the time. I don't shoot hardly at all now.
Right.
And I really don't know why.
Yeah, it's good because you haven't been out and shot with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
different. I think it was like there was so much of it. Do you have a lot of law enforcement that
a lot? I would say
that come out.
So we have, I would say 60% of our members are either current law enforcement, former law enforcement, current military, former military.
Sure.
You said 66% or 60%?
It's about 66%.
Probably.
Yeah, it's probably
Yes,
perfect. Yeah.
We should change that. Like honestly, that needs to change.
It does. Yeah. And so we do.
I mean, it's not your fault. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, man, these guys. Hey, if I got a chance to go shoot with Brett Key, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna get better. I mean, this guy's got a heart of gold. He's gonna say, hey, man, try this technique.
Well, if you want to go down a sore tough subject, law enforcement doesn't train enough. They don't.
Oh, gracious.
Law
no.
enforcement does not
Nope.
train enough. They come out there and shoot with us, and a lot of these guys that don't shoot a lot, and you watch their grip and you watch their stance and stuff, and you're like, oh man, like you have a way more chance of getting in some stuff than I do, and I'm just some idiot out here that likes to shoot, and like you're actually putting that gun on every day and going to work, and it's kind of concerning.
That's a big topic, Brett.
Not kinda. It is very concerning. We shot more than most. I was on our SWAT team, tactical team forever, right?
Awesome.
So I got the opportunity to shoot a ton more.
Yeah.
But look, the reality of it is we had troopers that they weren't even shooting quarterly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's nothing.
Not even a magazine?
No, we only had to qualify once a year.
Yeah.
And that's because of the state standards through the cleat standards that we have to do.
Let's be honest, the quals are a joke.
Oh, it's a joke.
It's a joke.
It is a absolute. The cleat qual is ridiculous. Like I could work with one of my daughters right now for a week, and I think she could probably qualify with cleat. I mean, there's just not a whole lot there. I understand it to a point. It's the same.
What do you mean you understand it?
Well,
how would you understand not training?
It is. Man, I don't even know how to get into that. There's a standard. There used to be a standard that is not there anymore. Right. They lowered that standard. It's like they've done in anything. They've lowered that standard because we need people. We need police officers. Yeah. Right. There's a positive and a negative to that. You're getting police officers. You're getting law enforcement, but they're not trained. And it's not just in the firearm side of it.
No.
Right. It is the totality of what it takes to be a police officer is not. Now, I know we just had somebody that came in and took over cleat that's actually a personal friend of mine, and I think his vision and what he's getting ready to do with cleat, I think it's going to be really good.
And
awesome. It's going to step it up.
Well,
but there's still going to be certain standards and stuff that they're not going to touch, because if they move those standards, if they up the bar on that, on what you have to do with a pistol or what you have to do with a rifle, guys aren't going to be able to qualify.
Unless you train.
But training comes down to two things. It comes down to money and it comes down to time. And both of those are very, very. Now, I looked at it a little bit.
So the budget's not there when you're on the law enforcement. You don't have access to.
Hey, there's departments that don't provide ammo for their guys to shoot with.
They don't provide them hardly any ammo. I've heard that from some people.
We were limited, and we're a state agency.
Yeah.
TAC team wasn't. I mean, that was something we worked into our budget. Right. We got the opportunity.
Well, I think there's a certain level of personal responsibility that comes into that because you are taking that job. Like, you should be training on your own time. Because I want to be as proficient as possible in whatever I'm doing. And if your job is to strap on that gun and, highway patrol, go make stops on the highway and get into some serious, situations, like, you should be prepared for that. And you watch a lot of these videos and stuff, and these guys like making mag changes. Granted, under stress, everything's different. Like, you can train until you get into that stress situation. I don't know how. I don't know how I would. React.
So let me ask a question on that, because and I think the answer is just what you said. It's completely different when you've got people moving and shooting back at you.
Yeah.
But I go to these matches and I think, man, these guys are pretty salty, and they're hitting the targets. Of course, the target's not moving, but they are, and they're behind blockades and things like that. But then you hear about these shootouts where there's a 300 round shot and nobody gets hit.
Yeah.
How does that happen? Like,
that's a training thing for me, because for me, I would expect my muscle memory to kick in, like if something was to happen, and that's just because I shoot 20,000-30,000 rounds a year, and and that it's just a hobby for me, and it's fun, and there is a tactical advantage to doing that if something happened. Like, I know that like I've trained and done some stuff, but the fact that I as a civilian do that, and we have police officers that are shooting, let's give them benefit of the doubt, 250 rounds a year, like that's not acceptable. And then you can get into the whole deal. You got police officers that are 250 pounds, 300 pounds, and like.
I was getting ready to say that. You talked about it being a personal responsibility. It's not it's the same thing on the physical fitness side of it.
It is,
right? And that is a discipline issue, and what you see as a priority to what it is you actually do every day, day in, day out, right?
Well, I am going to get in politics because I think it's important.
Yeah.
I'm liking what Pete Hegseth is doing right now. Is you got to qualify twice a year. Look at the faces on these people like, oh, are you serious? That's got to happen. That's going to trickle down, I think, through local departments as well. Get in shape.
Get in shape, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, that's.
And not to mention just the being in shape, but also the mental side of being in shape.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
There's
I
so
mean-
much that's tied to it. I mean, that's one of the, like with the foundation. I mean, we talk about the mental and emotional. We talk about the physical fitness and nutrition, and all that plays into it. And if you're not at the top of your game when it does happen,
Yeah.
then the consequences can be bad. But I back to my kind of my original point before we went down this road. I love what you're doing and getting younger generations and stuff involved in it, and making it fun. But
That's
doing
exactly
it,
the
but
point.
Doing it safely
Yep.
is such a huge deal. You can't go on enough about gun safety, whether it's when it's in live action or whether it's just a gun that's being stored or whatever it is. I mean, I've got tragic stories of weapons that weren't stored right and that it's ended bad. So it's man, I love what you do, but we're sitting here talking about this. And I'm like, man, I haven't shot in a long time.
Yeah.
And
Come out.
and it's just
Well, he is gonna come out. I'm gonna
Good.
do it
there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
and it is a perishable skill.
Yeah.
They also can call it range therapy. You know,
Yeah, it
sometimes.
is. Hey, we everybody
We've
like,
talked about
I
that.
have guys that come in and they take off work and or they have like they'll have a Thursday off. Like I've got this one guy, we call him Doc, and he's like mental health day. He's at the range. He's mental health day.
You know, I'll tell you a funny thing. We talk about that. So we talk about the kind of the I used to syndrome. And so I talk about hobbies, and most of the time cops are like, oh yeah, well I go shoot for a hobby, right? If you're a cop and your mindset is right, shooting is not a hobby.
Correct.
And I tell them, I'm like, okay, so you say shooting's a hobby. When you go to the range, what do you shoot at? Well, I shoot at a silhouette.
At 7 yards.
Do you time yourself? Well, yeah. I mean, do you work on your draw? Well, yeah. Like, well, then you're preparing for something. So for it to be a true mental day to where you're not thinking about work, you're not activated there, but it still needs to be done.
I agree.
Still needs to be done.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful about separating. Is it a true mental day? That type of deal.
Right.
And I know he's joking when he says it, but
Well, I gave the local law enforcement agency that is over where we're at, and the town that I live in, I offered the town that I live in the whole entire police department free membership, just so
Nice.
they'd come train.
yeah.
I'm like, hey, you can come on your own. You come on your own time. You guys, I can hook you up with my trainers, all that stuff. I need to call the chief and follow up with him because I haven't heard anything back. But
That's great.
Well, I would like. I'm just thinking. I know. Ty's thinking the same thing. We want to get involved in seeing how we can. Scars and Stripes can sponsor some ammo.
Yeah.
And get some fun of it, because you talked about being fun. Tell them, like, just because the sun goes down doesn't mean we stop having fun.
No, we keep going.
So
Yeah.
tell them about that. Tell us about that.
I mean, lately, it's getting dark earlier,
Oh, yeah.
and our matches don't start till 6 because everybody doesn't get off work.
Yeah.
Has time to get there. So, we just keep going. Like, and if you have a flashlight on your gun, great. If you got night vision in your truck, go put it on. Like, if you don't, like, sucks to be you.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. Like, you got to work through it. Like, if you don't have a flashlight. So now it's funny. You see people that didn't have it last week, and this week they do.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of fun to see. It's like, because you're learning your stuff. You know, the more you shoot with your stuff in different scenarios and different situations, you're going to learn how your stuff operates better and how it, in different scenarios. So it's like, oh man, I never thought to have a flashlight on mine because I'm shooting USPSA matches at 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. and never thought about adding a flashlight.
And it's different shooting low light and
Oh
light.
yeah.
It's way
It is.
different.
It's night and day different.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be
Dad
here.
joke.
I'll be here all day.
Yeah. That's all right. Yeah.
Okay, so I know there's gonna be people going, wait a minute, you shoot at night.
Yep.
How do you keep this safe? Is there any kind of program that your members have to go through to even qualify to be able to go out there at night?
So we have for the membership, we kind of have like a little bit of an interview process. It's more so of like, so you have to go on our website and you have to book an interview, and you come and you meet with me, Tyler, or Aaron. And we kind of walk you through the range, show you everything. And we kind of ask you a couple questions like, how often do you shoot? And if you say, I don't shoot very often, I'm wanting to get into it, that's fine. That's not going to disqualify you from becoming a member. We want to talk to you, but what we're going to do is we're going to push you to train a little bit. We're going to push you to get in there with one of our instructors. We have classes with a 20-year Navy SEAL, and he does classes. He's starting to back up next month. He'll do classes every weekend. We have an instructor, John Ross, that does one-on-one classes, and then my cousin Tyler, he does one-on-one classes for entry-level people. He actually does a lot of back to the kids thing. He does a lot of kids classes.
Awesome.
So people bring in their kids, and he'll train them. You know, mom and dad will be there, dad will be there, and he just kind of sits there and runs them through. You know, he'll sit in the lounge with them for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, just going over how the gun works and telling you all the science behind it. We've got training guns and dummy guns and stuff like that, and then we'll go out there on the range and do a little bit of shooting. We've got some little 22 Glocks, and we've got some 9mm, and we'll step them up. Then we got ARs, and we just kind of let them shoot our guns on that stuff. But it's a lot of fun. But with back to the night stuff. Sorry, I have a tendency to do that. But with the night stuff, it's really up to you. There's not a lot of people that go out there at night. Now that it's getting cooler, more people are going. So I get notifications when people check in through the door. And lately it's been ticking up a little bit. You'll see a ding at 10 p.m. You know, you're like, oh, someone's going out there shooting. You'll look, and they'll be out there with full night vision on and all that stuff. And that's a lot of fun. But I mean, just getting out there and training, man. When you're out there, I'm going to say 9 out of 10 times you're going to be out there by yourself. We've got 5 individual bays.
Yeah,
you go out there.
So it's open 24/7.
Correct. Yeah.
And so as long as you're a member, you can go out there and get after it. So how about the targets? How about eyewear? How about all the things little particular things that people might ask? And then also, like, what's your limit? Like, what are you looking for with your range? What's the membership limit?
Yeah. So targets are included in your membership. We have paper targets. We are partnered with High Value Target Company, which is his name's Garrett Fernball. He's a Navy SEAL at our range who trains. He was 20 years in the SEAL team, 7 year GRS. And he has these targets that are just next level, like the whole science behind them. So they're a much more advanced target to shoot. So the guys on the targets have plate carriers on. They'll be at different angles looking around a building. They have helmets on. So there's a science behind that. For like a SWAT team, it's really good to sit there and practice on. I need to know where to place my rounds and recognize that he's got a plate carrier on. I need to recognize that he has a helmet on. Like, I need to recognize those things. So he has a lot
from a tactical standpoint. If you actually had to engage in something like that, where should the round go? Yeah.
You know, you got a soft spot here. You know, you got a soft spot here, and that's really all you're seeing. And sometimes he's at an angle, so you got a soft spot here.
Yeah.
So it's different, and that's a whole different, like, next level of training. And then we have your basic targets, just your basic IPSEC, just the silhouettes. And then we have some other targets. Fern has these really cool pistol warm-up targets that it's got these dot torture, and it just kind of, it's got words underneath it, like shoot here once, mag change, shoot here twice, mag change, shoot here 3 times, mag change, and then all this different stuff. So we've got some pretty cool stuff on the target side. We've got 2 fully stocked gun cleaning tables with all the gun cleaning equipment, like oil.
And that's part of the membership as well?
Part of the membership, yeah. So we have people that come in at 6 o'clock at night and say, I'm just stopping by to clean my guns real quick. Just members. And they'll stop, clean their guns, and they'll sit there, and we got 2 TVs in there, and they'll put on a YouTube video and hang out and then boogie. You get a 10% discount in the store, which includes ammo.
How many members are you going to look to have?
We're not sure yet. We're kind of playing with it. So whenever I bought it, there was a certain number that he had as members, and it turns out there was like maybe 60 or 75% of those were actually paying members. They were just like people that were on there. And our members are the same way. Like, I do have I've got a lot of the Canadian county officers that I let train for free. I've got our affiliate guys we let train for free. So if you look at my numbers are skewed from who's actually paying to who's actually a member. But we're not entirely sure how many members we're going to get. We're just kind of slowly adding them. And then right now it's not a problem. I mean, it's Saturdays and Sundays are busy.
Yeah.
But during the week it's dead. I mean, there's nobody there.
Well, and you're picking up notoriety. I think you just recently had a big name come out.
We did
some big name guys. Yep. You've got another event coming up.
Correct.
Kyle from the Undaunted podcast. Yeah. He brought a big group out there. Of some dudes,
Saturday they came out. Yeah.
And then so tell us about that event, and then also you have some guys coming out in October. I think.
Correct. Yeah, at the end of this month. Yeah,
which is going to be awesome.
So the funny thing is I've gotten to know Kyle a little bit, and he's an awesome dude. So I've followed him and I've listened to his podcast, his faith-based stuff, and it's just, it's a lot of masculine man stuff, and I like it. So I've followed him for a long time, and I follow him on Instagram, and he was shooting with somebody at a local indoor range, and I made fun of him for it. And I messaged him. I was like, man, that's lame. You're not learning anything there or something. And he messaged me back almost instantly and was like, what are you talking about? Where's your range? Because like Kyle's guy's like, like where's the best thing? I want to be the best at it. And he messaged me. He's like, hey, I've got this event going on September. I don't remember the exact date.
2 weeks
the
ago.
27th. And he's like, can we come out there and shoot? I'm like, come on, dude. I got you. Like, come on. I'll even have our Navy SEAL guy instruct for you. And ended up having a different Navy SEAL guy, Brian Trotter from Battle Springs Ranch down in Ardmore.
Yeah,
came up and,
great guy.
Yeah, awesome dude. I had him come up and teach the class on Saturday. And they had a blast, man. Like, it was so much fun. I wish we could have had about like twice the time with them. But they had, there was this group that he had in. They come from all over the country.
They had some flights and stuff.
Yeah. So they had flights and stuff, and they had lunch and all this stuff. But it was a blast, man. It was super fun. Got to hang out with Kyle. Got to really know him, and great dude. Like, just awesome man of God. Just good dude. And his guys were all awesome. They had a blast. We got to razz him a little bit, because Trotter, he'll make fun of you a little bit, which is awesome. Like, he's my style of training. Like, you're sitting there and mess up, he's gonna make fun of you.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of dudes on the range, and it's like
great.
nothing's really mattered. We're just really having fun out here. So it was a great time. So that was fun. Kyle sent me this knife. Show you real quick. It's a Benchmade, really
those are
nice,
awesome.
really nice knife, and it's got Undaunted Life on it.
Oh, sweet.
Which is
nice.
cool. He got it engraved, and he sent that to me, and just as a thank you, which was really cool. And then October 27th and 28th, we have GBRS coming out,
That's awesome.
which is really cool. They're going to be doing, I think it's a 2-day advanced pistol rifle class. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's just something I reached out to them. They reached out to me, and just like, I've wanted to go to a lot of their KTC events, which is their knowledge transfer stuff. And they're just always so far, and it's hard for me to like dedicate, 4 days, because you got a day of travel, 2 days training, and another day of travel. And it's hard for me to just do that with wife and kids and all that stuff. And starting new businesses. We have several new businesses and all this stuff. And I was like, man, it's just hard to go. I was like, why don't you guys just come here? So
They did it.
yeah. So
Obviously.
I had about an hour phone call with one of the guys over there, and he's like, dude, we're in. He's like, we're gonna set it up. Like, let's get it rolling. And the classes.
What do you think that'll do for your business?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Do you even care? I mean, are you just like, this is something I'm gonna do?
I don't. I do care. I mean, I care about my business. I care about what we're doing. It's a God thing for me. Like it just like, I mean, the fact that that's happening, the fact how everything's working there is just like, I'm just putting it in his hands. Like, I don't care. Like, this is just awesome. Like, it's all going to work out. Whatever's for the best, it's going to happen. The best benefit that I'm looking for is I want to be known for being the best tactical training place in Oklahoma. Like, I want to be known for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're on the path for that. And I've got, several of the best guys around to train, some of the best classes, some of the best instructors. And then our members are just awesome. They take a lot of the classes. They're there partaking in everything. Like, if we offer something, they usually jump in. Like, I think we have, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 people doing the GBRS class, and it's not cheap. Like, it's expensive.
What's a class? What's the limit on it?
On the number?
Yeah, for that.
I think he said 20. I don't have anything to do with the bookings.
Oh,
all
okay.
books through GBRS. They
So
go
you
through
just
them. We're
you
just
provide the
hosting it.
facility. Okay.
That's it. Yeah. I get a spot in the class. That's kind of the benefit for me. I told them, like, hey guys, I want you to come do it for free. I'm not going to charge you a penny. I want you to come here and do this class. And if you like it, we'll work something out in the future where we can keep doing it. But give me a spot because I want to do the class.
Bartering.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So like who better to train with than these
Yeah.
guys? I mean, there's not very many people that are going to have as much experience as these guys. And I've always respected these guys and love what they do. So I'm pretty stoked about
I
it.
can just think your socials are going to go up. I mean, people are going to become more aware of who you are and what you do. And I mean, really, there's just not that many people or not that many ranges here locally that you can go get that vibe that you got going on.
Yeah,
there.
and that was really the end goal. Like, hey, if like this can just get our name out there and kind of get us growing and like be known for being this facility.
Well, when I first saw it, I was like, it's 1.2 acres, so it's somewhat limited. But the first thing I was thinking was like, Ty loves this tactical game things, and he wants to bring one to Oklahoma.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I think that's probably limited on the space there for a tactical game.
Yeah, we couldn't do anything there, but my gunsmith James, he's actually really up on wanting to do him and Tristan, another guy that trains. He's got a big YouTube channel. But they're wanting to train and go do the tactical games, and which is awesome. But I think so with Brian Trotter coming up last weekend.
That's what I'm thinking.
We did a lot of talking, and I really would like to sponsor with Battle Springs Ranch because their place is epic. I went down there and did a class 2 or 3 years ago and trained with Trotter, and that's how I met Trotter. And that place is just ridiculous. Like,
well, the guy that owns it has a heart of gold.
Does he?
Oh yeah. If you've never met him,
I've never met him.
He's incredible. I mean, he self-made guy. You know, retired early, but then just dedicates this ranch to first responders, to veterans, and then family members, of course. But I mean, I don't think he makes anything off of that, and he just donates his land to be able to do it.
That's awesome. That's super cool. Well, I think there's a lot of cool stuff that we can do there because they have a lot of stuff that they can offer that we can't, and then we have some stuff that we offer that they can't. Like they can't do memberships and stuff like that. And we're also closer to town, and I think that's the biggest thing for them is trying to get people to drive an hour and a half to Ardmore to do the classes.
Yeah.
But if I can get Trotter up here once a month to do a class, I think people really like.
Well, then we collaborate and we say, hey, we're going to do a weekend there.
Exactly.
So let's get in the transit van and I'll go down and have a good time. You know,
that's the plan.
So
yeah.
You say something? Okay. Well, let's take a quick break and we'll come back on the other side.
Hey guys, I'm Kyle with 66 Tactical. We're in Yukon, Oklahoma. We're a private gun club. Memberships are $105 a month. If you want to join, go on our website, 66tactical.com, click new member interview, and come on out, meet me and the guys. We'll show you around. Come join a club that's different than everywhere else. If you want to actually pull from your holster and shoot, you want to move and shoot, you want to shoot machine guns, you want to shoot fast, mag dump, whatever, we're the spot. No place better. Best group of guys you'll ever meet. Great community, great location. We're right off I-40, right on historic Route 66. We've got a store. We're working on growing it. Come out, join, follow our social media for our training events. We've got all kinds of different classes with Navy SEALs, Special Forces guys coming up. 66tactical.com, Facebook 66 Tactical, and Instagram is just at 66 Tactical. So thank you guys.
Welcome back to the second part of the Scars podcast. We're going to jump into some pretty controversial stuff, I think, right now. So you guys may or may not know, but the UK has just passed their digital ID, which to me is the slide to tyranny, where the government controls everything that you do. And it's a very scary thought that the digital ID will actually be able to find out how much meat you consume, and you're limited to that. How many flights you take a year, you're limited to that. What your social footprint is. You can be arrested for certain things you say on social. So freedom of speech, number one, is going to be chopped pretty quick in the UK, or at least there's some serious repercussions for what you might say. So then the second there they've already gotten rid of was 2A, right? Or it would be our 2A.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So let's jump right into why you think that is the second thing that the founders put on our Constitution.
I mean, it's pretty simple. It's the most generic answer there is, but they put the Second Amendment to protect the First Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why we have it. And I mean, if you want to go down the rabbit hole of why I think they're trying to strip it here, when we know why they're doing it in the UK and it's working, and they did it in the past, and that's why America exists, right? So I think there's several schools of thoughts on why they're doing it, and I try to stay very middle of the road. In my mind, I guess, but I do think that there are people like, and it's mostly Democrats, and then there's some Republicans that are just idiots. But there is a level of they think they're doing good, like they think they're doing the right thing.
You really think this?
I think they think they are. I think that there are some that think.
Okay, I'm going to push back. So there's the level you're talking about,
right?
Are foot soldiers, in my opinion.
Yes.
If you look at there's a hierarchy of influencers.
Correct.
There's somebody above them.
Correct. That's where I'm getting at. There are local level Democrats and there are local level Republicans that think that banning 10-round magazines is, or limiting to 10-round magazines is going to make a huge impact. Taking a 16-inch rifle and cutting it down to a 14-inch rifle makes a huge. It's way more deadly now. It's so much more deadly. Having a pistol brace, makes it so much more deadly. And they think that they're doing good, and the reason they think they're doing good is because they are ignorant on the topic. They don't know what they're talking about. If they went out and spent a day with me, Trotter, like one of these guys that are instructors and know weapons and actually learned it and felt comfortable with it, I think that they would change their mind. Would they even go do that? No, because they're not open-minded enough. So do I think that there are some that are that way? Yes. Do I think that the hierarchy want to ban it because of potential, I don't know what? Yes. I think that the big picture is take the guns away, take the speech away, take the guns away, take the power away. And I think they're doing it. I think they do it to punish us, the Republicans and the people that like guns. I think they do it they want to take away anything. If we're pro now, you've got Robert Kennedy pro wanting to take food, limit
limit
a lot of
clean
these,
the food up.
Clean the food up.
Yeah.
That's bad now, right?
Yeah.
That used to be the liberal thing, like
Right.
the hippies and the gardeners and the
Yep.
crazy stuff like that. But now that's bad. So it's like, and the whole Tylenol thing with the chugging Tylenol, the pregnant ladies are chugging Tylenol and stuff intentionally just because they said it's bad. Like, so there's just a level of hate and a level of do what we can to take that away from people. That's just never going to go away. And do I think that they want to take the guns away to limit our freedom of speech and other things? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that that's the big picture, and you got big picture people up there, and I can go down the whole conspiracy rabbit hole.
Well,
just sit here.
It's power. It all comes down to power,
It does.
right? And the ones up at the top understand how easy people are manipulated now.
Yes.
And it's very easy to do with social media and everything else because we had a little bit of a conversation this off camera a while ago that people will not dig to find the truth.
Right.
So whatever's being thrown on the surface, that's what they're going to take as the gospel.
Right.
And they're just not willing to do that. And those up there at the top, they know that. So it's easy to blast it out.
Yep.
And when you've got other people that have influence that'll follow you and just say, "Yep, that's what they said," they're gonna do it, and they mastered it. They know how to do it, and that's the scary part about it.
Well, you look
right?
at I think it goes well beyond even America. It's the World Economic Forum. If you start looking to see what they're
Oh, it
talking
is.
about, they literally want a tyrannical civilization across the world that literally it's a few thousand people that rule
They do.
completely the pedestrian people. There is no freedoms. It's and then we're gonna develop something and you're gonna like it. If we want fake meat, you're gonna like it. If we want to dress up somebody as a clown and they call themselves a woman now and teach your kids, you're gonna like it.
They don't like free thinkers. If
No.
you're thinking on your own,
I mean, you can get in a whole education system of America right now and basement on there are no free thinkers. It's robotic.
oh yeah, and there's a whole. I mean, you can take the whole biblical aspect of it, and
It's definitely
our-
spiritual, Kyle.
Our pastor said a while back, well, if you homeschool your kids or you do this with your kids, if I take my kids hunting, my 12-year-old can gut a deer, skin a deer, clean a duck, I let him go out in my backyard and duck hunt. During duck season, he gets off the bus and he says, "Bye, Dad," and he runs down to the lake and he duck hunts.
Nice.
Kill duck.
How awesome is
Every
that?
day.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
breasts the duck. He plucks the duck. He knows everything about it. Same thing when it comes to dove. He'll sit in the backyard and he'll dove hunt, and he breasts it, and he'll come up there and be like, "Oh, I got a couple doves," and he'll breast them, and I mean, he'll try to go make a breakfast burrito if it's in the
How
morning.
dare you, Kyle?
How dare me?
How dare you make your son proficient to take care of himself?
Right. So it goes back to
Can't he just have the government do that?
Right. It goes back to your kids aren't normal. Well, if my kids are normal to today's standards, I failed as a father, and that's the
I
way.
agree.
And I look at that as for you as a man and you as a man. If you're normal in today's standards, you're a failure in God's eyes, and
Yep.
like
Right.
it's there's a level of difference that is good, and today's normal is not good.
Well, it's biblical. We're getting to the point where literally Scripture is coming off the pages. It's alive. I know that, but literally calling evil good and good evil.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to see that happening right in front of our eyes.
It is. I think that there's a spiritual awakening happening stronger than it ever was, and I think it was happening before the Charlie Kirk thing, and the Charlie Kirk thing really spiked it off.
Yep.
But I mean, just in our little community that we're in the gun world, I'm seeing guys that like you would never think would be spiritual are like just like going all in. And I'm guilty of that. Like I've been a Christian my whole life. I grew up in church, but I was a lukewarm Christian up until about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I remember specifically, I remember where we were in the car with my wife, and I said, I'm never going to be like those guys. Those guys are just like, we were at a church group, and these guys are just on fire for Jesus. And I was like, I'm
not going to be a Jesus freak.
I'm never going to be on fire for Jesus. And I just, about a year ago, I started hanging out with a lot of these people, and like just something clicked, and I'm on fire for Jesus. Like that's just it. Like, and it's this whole thing that's just changed my whole life, and it's changed and I think it's happening more and more, and I think it's happening with men, and I feel really good about it, and I feel confident about it. But
well, it's not. I 100% agree with you, but here's the deal: if it's not going to start with men, then it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
You're 100% right.
And that is, and you brought up Kyle a while ago. Me and my buddy are getting ready to head out here in 2 weeks to go to Florida to Joby Martin.
Oh,
we're
awesome,
we're going to the men's conference. out there.
Oh man, that's
and
fantastic.
I am fired up about
I would love
it,
to
right?
go to that.
I mean, it kind of gives me chills thinking about it. But it's, Joby Martin, pastor of Church 1122, his entire year, every service this is geared towards men. It's time to freaking stand up.
Yeah.
Right? As husbands, first off, as Christians.
Yep.
As husbands, as dads, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, and everything else. That's where it starts. If it doesn't start there, then we're freaking doomed.
I agree, 100%.
I mean, it's biblical in the sense that even in your family, I mean, that people take that scripture so out of, women submit to your husbands.
Yeah.
The woman was based out of to be a helper,
right,
to the husband.
Correct.
If you're leading your life under the leadership of Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, as a man, if I ever treated my spouse inappropriately, I hope I'm struck down.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing it right, the family will follow. Correct. In other words, if you stop doing certain things, drinking certain things, looking at certain things, listening to certain things, you watch what happens to the family. Family will lead. The family will follow. The family will follow.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's incredible to see, just as my journey with Jesus gets closer and closer, the fewer and fewer people are around you.
Which I love it.
And that's biblical. I mean, Jesus said it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm good with that.
Me
because
too.
Every one of those people that leave you, if they get in a situation that they need help, they're going to come back.
They are.
Yeah.
And you're going to be right there, just like Jesus is for us.
Yep.
Every time we stray, because he's not a wife beater. I love that.
Right.
Like my pastor says, Jesus isn't a wife beater. He loves us.
Yeah.
And we are his bride.
Yep.
But he's going to give us over to our heart's desire. Doesn't mean he leaves us. He's right there to pick us right back up.
Yeah.
So 2A is important. It's what we do to be able to, I talk about all this stuff because I think we probably have the largest army in the country, in the world, with civilian gun owners.
100%. Yeah.
If America falls, which biblically speaking, we know it's going to happen.
Right.
Like every nation will be pointed against Israel. So at some point, that's us.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope not on my watch. I hope that before that day happens, the trumpet sounds and we're out of here.
Right.
Okay. But until that time, we're going to fight.
Correct.
We're going to fight for that freedom. And if they can take the guns away, they being whoever that is, the principalities of this world, which is evil, we're done.
Yeah.
We're going to go the way of, now we look at Canada. Canada just implemented this buyback program, which that was, am I wrong on this? Didn't we have a president one time that tried to buy back weapons?
I don't know if that was ever on a federal level. That's not been done on state level. It's been done on state levels and city levels. Yeah, Chicago and a bunch of places do that a lot. They still do it.
Yeah, they're still active programs.
There are, they're still active programs. Yeah. So, you can go to some cities and they'll like just any day, any time and turn in a gun, and I think they'll give you a voucher or something. Yeah.
So you have basically now Canada countrywide saying, we're gonna take your guns, but we're gonna pay you for them. And right now it's just certain assault weapons,
Right.
hunting rifles you can keep,
Yeah.
something. It's a slippery slope. You know where this is headed.
What's an assault weapon? I mean,
I
I
don't
don't
even-
even use that word anymore. I don't know that I ever use that word. No, there's not an assault weapon.
There's not an assault
I
weapon.
mean, anyway, sorry.
No.
I
It's just
thought I would
it's,
throw that
it's
in
a
there.
black
How do you
scary
define
It
gun.
is a black,
But
scary.
you give an
you
old
get-
SKS with a banana mag, it's just as efficient.
Yeah.
Like it's just people don't understand. Yeah, that's
Didn't mean to throw you off there.
yeah.
But,
No, it's
yeah.
it's so true, because I think going back to what you said about Charlie Kirk, and one thing that we talk about on this show is Generation Z is going to save America. I believe with all my being, but they're going to have to get past the 15-second scroll, because you can't get the truth in 15 seconds.
I agree.
So you see something, you go, well, that's the way it is. What happened after Charlie Kirk was this. There's been a number of black men that I've seen go, hey, guys, I looked through about 5 hours of Charlie Kirk. I didn't know him before, but I looked through it because you guys told me how bad he was. And he goes, I think I'm a conservative now.
Yep.
And that's what has to happen is bringing back the PragerU, whatever it is, and like God bless him, but Ryan Walters is really trying to do a lot of good things, and
Right.
people are going to throw stones at him. I get it, but I don't get it, because I'm like, we're 50th. So what if we try something different in our education? Maybe it might help. I mean, how much lower are we going to go?
Right.
But I think that when you look at, what do you think? And I've never seen this before, so I'm going to ask you two are well adept with guns, but have you ever seen a gun shoot somebody?
No.
I know it's a stupid question, but it's a real question.
Not without a person behind it with intent.
So, have you ever had a knife kill somebody?
Nope.
A bat?
An assault bat?
Yeah, an assault bat. Have you seen those?
No.
Yeah, they're black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I really feel like that this is completely oriented towards getting the guns out of our hands, 100%. And do you feel like that there's any room for any change in what's accessible to a civilian when it comes to ammunition?
Absolutely. I think you should be able to get grenades and rocket launchers. Like if you want to ask like the deepest route, like that's where I stand.
Okay.
I think any gun law is an infringement on our Second Amendment. Like I believe that wholeheartedly. I think
So no amount of rounds,
No.
magazines.
my answer is gonna be no to anything you ask when it comes to anything.
It's
gun
been, I mean,
related.
look, and I don't, whoever coined the term or whoever said this, we've never had a gun problem.
No.
We've got a people problem.
We got a mental health problem.
We got a
in this
mental
country.
health problem, right?
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, it doesn't matter how many weapons I have, how much ammunition I have, how many grenades I have, whatever
Correct.
it is, until somebody with ill intent takes up one of those, they're not going to hurt anybody.
How many good guys like us sitting here at this table are out committing crimes with our guns? We're not.
It's not.
We might be preventing some.
We might be preventing some, yeah. But I mean, we all probably have a lot of guns sitting at home,
Yeah.
right? And none of those guns are out there in the world hurting anybody, and they're not going to.
I don't remember. I remember. I mean, high capacity rounds, low capacity. It's been around for a long time, but it just seems like the 1990s something changed, and then you started to see more. What do you call them? High casualty events.
Correct.
In schools. Columbine was actually obviously a big one. There's some big ones out there, but something changed in the 90s that either wasn't there before. Was it mental illness or less mental, or was there more treatment for mental illness? So that wasn't a thing. And this is leading up to a question, but I'm just asking, do you guys remember as kids these mass casualty events? Or is it a new phenomena?
So I was a kid in the 90s, so
That's all you know. Wow.
yeah. So it's
Dang,
it's
I'm
all
old.
that's all I know.
You're out of this question, Kyle.
I'm out of this.
Let's go to the
question.
old guys.
So I think a couple of things. I do think that there is more unchecked mental illness that we're dealing with right now. Right now, there were mass shootings early on, but we didn't find out about it because we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have instant access to them.
Correct.
And one that stands out was the school shooting in Russia, right? So there were, and it wasn't just in the United States. It was there. So they've always been around. I think it is more, and I think it goes back to a mental health issue. I think that there's more now and what they would consider mass casualty, mass shootings. But those, we've always had them. Just not to the extent that we have them now, and not to the extent of us having it instant in our hands when it happens in the reporting side of it.
Right.
So there are, there are some instances where there was, it wasn't a mass shooting, but the mass stabbing in Sweden. I think that was at some sort of kids camp or something like that. So those instances are out there. We just didn't have access to them back in the us old people back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. I think
it's a mental health issue.
I've had this conversation with my dad, and he's y'all's age probably.
Yeah.
And back then, if somebody seemed off, they called it and they figured it out. Like now, everything's so soft, and it's like, oh, like we're gonna offend little Timmy because he thinks his name's Tammy now and wants to have blue hair and is a girl, and they don't like that. Okay, let's just accept that. It's no, like, hey, we got to fix this. And I feel like maybe in the 80s and 90s, early 90s, like that just wasn't acceptable. Like we weren't going to do that.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. There's a lot of other mental health issues that go into a lot of things.
I think it's deeper than that now. And what I mean by that is I think that this all leads back to gun control. I'm only bringing these up because I think that's really where not gun control, gun elimination.
Yeah.
That's where it leads back to. So, in the 1950s and to the 70s, you guys familiar with the term or program MK Ultra?
I'm familiar with it. I don't really know.
So MK Ultra was these, it used to be that you'd go to a university and you could get like credits to go do a psychological experiment. And they don't, it's a little harder to do it now because some of them are pretty detrimental, but this idea of mind control is what it was. So that you would kind of take these guys and the CIA was using it. They would literally put them through these programs that they could, not for lack of a better term, but be a undercover, and with the word they would change them and they would act on something.
Right.
I don't think it's impossible that never quit.
Right.
That never stopped. In fact, what I could say is that it got so good, they knew the technique so well, that now they don't even have to have you in a program. They can use your phone.
It's right there.
They can take these folks, and every time that the mass casualty happens or a shooting happens, what's the first thing that happens? Don't talk about mental illness. Let's talk about the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the gun. And so do you feel like that there's a possibility that some of these mass shootings are people that have been manipulated? I mean, it wouldn't be that hard for the CIA to start controlling the feed going to your phone.
I mean, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, 100%. I mean, people sitting there and they fall down.
But most people don't know this.
These people get sucked in, and they're mentally weak. They are. There's no other explanation. They're not close to God. They don't have a strong home. If you go look at it, they're mentally weak, and they get manipulated by all this stuff that's going on. This and that. They're this guy's a bad guy. This person's this Christian school, is this, whatever. They're getting beaten to their heads that this is bad, and they don't get out of it. And I think one of the biggest things is today in society, everybody wants to be part of something. And if they can go be part of something.
They're looking for something to belong to.
Whether that's Antifa or something else, they get sucked in and then they get brainwashed a little bit, and that's where these extremes go because they don't have the ability to not do that. The Uvalde school shooting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
These different deals where people just get sucked in and they're just like they can't get out of it. And
well, you think about it, but that's been going on for a long time.
It has.
Gangs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they do is they prey on and I hate to say the weak because a lot of like with the gang members and stuff, it is the way they were raised or, single.
Well, they get them locked in at 12 or 13 years old.
They get them young and they bring them in because they feel like they're a part of something.
Correct.
And that's human nature for us to want to do. I mean, that's we talk about that. That's the way that God made us. We need to be a part of something. We need to be a part of a family. We need to have leadership. We need to have leadership roles, and that's how we function best. And for a lot of those young men, and probably some young women too, that gang, right? It fit that. It fit that
Correct.
mold,
Yep.
and they made them feel special,
Yep.
right? And now you fast forward, it's the same thing now.
It is.
I mean, human nature is not changed. People want to be a part of something, good or bad, and if you bring them in and you make them feel like that they're important and that they can be a part of something and make a difference and do it, they are so easy manipulated now by that stupid phone.
Yep.
And social media and everything else, right?
Yep.
And we talked about it a while ago. It's a power struggle. They know those people at the top, and again, we can go down freaking rabbit holes, but they know how to manipulate people through the press and what they put on those freaking phones.
They do.
And they know people are not going to go do the research because in nature, we're lazy.
Yep.
We're not going to go in. They're not going to dig. They're not going to spend the time to do it. And so they take it at face value. And once they get sucked in, they get sucked in.
And it goes back to the free thinking thing.
Yep.
So I started listening to Glenn Beck whenever I was, I think we talked about this earlier. I don't think we talked about it, but, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. Like, love or hate the guy. Like, I've loved Glenn Beck since I was little. Me and my dad, I would ride with him in construction, and we'd be listening to him. I remember listening to him like a couple days after 9/11, and I've listened to him every day since then. And he said, I remember I was 16 years old, and me and my best friend, Mike's son, we're driving in the truck, and we were going to a job site because he was working with me at the time. And he said, I don't want you to listen to what I have to say and take everything I say as the truth. What I want you to do is I want you to go find a book on a topic, and I want you to read that book. And then I want you to go find another book that says the exact opposite and why that guy's an idiot, and read that book.
Yep.
And then form your own opinion. And I want you to do that everything you do in life. And that stuck with me. Like, that stuck with me my whole life. So if I see this, I want to go see the other side. Like, if I listen to Glenn say something, well, I'm gonna go listen to Bill Maher say something, right? And I'm gonna form my own opinion, and I'm gonna do it. I mean, that just makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, I go back to the Bible and say, okay, now what's the truth here?
Yeah.
And that I was just getting ready to say that. That's where we failed.
Right.
That's why society is in the situation that it's in right now, is because we started getting our information, looking for the truth through that phone, social media,
Correct.
and everything else, instead of going to the one place that is the truth.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And that was one of the things, and bringing up Charlie Kirk again, that was one of the things. I mean, people they can go back and say that was a political assassination. That wasn't a political assassination. That was assassination of a Christian.
It was.
Because everything that he talked about came out of the Word.
Yep. He referred back to it. Like, if you go back and watch his videos, he refers back to it all the time. Now, there's certain things that you can't necessarily go directly back to it.
Sure.
But the overall consensus of everything that he stood for was back to this book.
Yep.
Back to this book.
Yep.
And that's a whole nother conversation I can go down about.
It is. But if the change is going to come, right? Whether it's be with our Second Amendment rights or anything else, if we're not going back to God's Word, we're wasting our time.
Well, look at the signers. He was always really good about bringing this out. All the signers of the Declaration of Independence, all were Bible believing, praying individuals, except for one.
Yep.
And all of them lost their life pretty early after that.
Yep.
And so, to say that this ground wasn't based, at least in the last 250 plus years, on God is foolish.
Correct.
And I, God in the biblically says those that protect Israel will be blessed, and that was one of the things that we've done for a good time now. And you could look at it secular, or you could look at it theologically, but making sure that those are our friends is a good thing for us to do. And I think that getting back to truth, which is the Holy Bible, it hasn't changed yesterday, today, or tomorrow. It's going to be the same. But yeah, if we don't get back to the roots and the men stand up, the fact that I can't even imagine, I don't know what I would do. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't do what the men did when boys were going in, young men were going into a locker room with my daughter, or if I had a daughter. I would just have to say, well, you're going to have to kick me out of the school. And I think that's the next phase of the Generation Z, is they need to be emboldened and supported in the fact that when you go into a classroom and the professor clearly doesn't want you to write something that is true, they want a different angle on it, that they threaten you with grade, that you say, fine, give me the C, give me the D. That's fine.
We know that's where Turning Point started.
Yes.
That's the reason it started.
It is.
Right? But it goes back to that, and they talk about in times, wherever we're at in that the persecution is going to increase, and it might be something as simple as a paper.
Yep.
Yeah.
And standing up. It's time to stand up.
And that's a great point.
And knowing that we're going to be persecuted, if we're doing it right, then we're going to be persecuted. Just be ready for it.
That's a great point, because it's like, what do you do? Do you have to be a Charlie Kirk?
No,
you don't.
Mm-mm.
You could stand up to a professor and say, I'm going to write this essay the way is it grammatically correct? Well, yeah, but I just don't like the way you write. Sorry.
Yeah.
Give me the F.
Yeah. I don't care. I believe what I believe, and that's it.
You're not gonna browbeat me into saying something I don't want to say.
It goes back to the old adage, and college students is the best place to use it, is you have to stand for something or you fall for anything.
That's right.
Right. And that's a silly thing. It's a very common thing people say. Yeah. But if you don't stand up for it in college, you start letting those professors beat you down and say no, no, no.
And they're good at it.
They've
been doing it year after year.
And there's a whole, you just eventually learn to be the cattle.
You know what would help with that, Kyle?
What's that?
Know how to shoot a weapon.
Know how to shoot a weapon. Come out to the gun range. Come out, hang out with us.
It just gives you confidence.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's the coolest thing about out there, man. The like-mindedness out there. And we don't all agree on everything. Like we don't. I mean, we've got Christians, we've got Catholics, we've got Orthodox Christian. We got all these different people. We all get along, and it's awesome.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
We don't all have to freaking get along, man. That's another huge breakdown in society. Is we feel like that if we don't see eye to eye on everything, then we start throwing the word hate and everything else in there.
It always goes back to that awesome book at the end of the table. Jesus says, you don't have to like everybody, but you got to love them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's so true.
It's hard, though.
If I love you, I can't hurt you.
Right.
I may not like you. I don't know if I want to be around you that much, but man, I don't want to see you get hurt.
Right. Yeah,
anyway.
It's hard though.
All right, let's take one more break, and we'll come back for the last section. All right, welcome back to the third and final segment of today's podcast with Kyle Cornman and Brett Key. What's up, man?
Not much.
I always like looking over you. You give me hope and inspiration.
I am a handsome man. No, what?
He is.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple more questions before we jump into. I want to talk about faith and God, family, country, and kind of how that works. But give me your opinion, because I see this a lot, and I don't know what to think about it. But open versus concealed carry from a tactical perspective, civilian walking around, and I've seen some of the silliest, like 6-shooters on the side.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Like, I only saw it once, but this guy, boy, he was full of it.
Yeah, these Elmer Fuds.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. So, open carry in public, stupid to me. Like it's just silly. You're just trying to make a statement and just try to look cool. You do it because you can. Is really what I see. I think there's definitely scenarios where if you have it and it is open, that's okay. There's certain different. I open carry when I'm in the mountains, just because it's really available.
Sure.
The gun's usually bigger. And that's the biggest thing. It's just gun size.
Yeah, you want to take down a bear if you have to.
Right. So if I'm in the mountains, I'm gonna probably. I still carry a 9mm, but I've got 21 rounds. So hopefully I can put the bear down. I don't know. I haven't put a lot of study into the ballistics on that. I should probably carry something bigger. A lot of people are liking the 10mm.
Hey guys, size matters.
It does. Yeah.
The banana.
Yes. The banana.
The size of the banana matters on this one, especially when it's a moose.
Right. So there are definitely. From a tactical standpoint, if I'm going into a gunfight and I know it, we're going in, it's World War IV or V, whatever it is, I don't know. I'm gonna have a battle belt, and I'm gonna have a lot of different. I'm gonna have a different setup for different scenarios because I want extra magazines. My pistol's down a little bit lower. I got long arms. I want it down here at a more easy to get spot. But I'm also gonna have a rifle because that's just way more efficient.
Right.
But going to Home Depot and, you know, having my pistol on my side, I see that all the time because I'm at
Yeah.
Home Depot all the time or Lowe's, and, you know, having your old 1911 out on your hip, it's like, dude, like, man, and you know that guy doesn't train. So like I carry, I'm weird for today's society. Like all my buddies and everybody thinks I'm like old school because I carry at 4 o'clock and they all carry, you know, appendix. I don't like appendix carry. I'm in my truck all the time and it just gets in the way. And like, I don't
Wait a
wanna-
minute. What did you say? I'm a 4 o'clock?
I'm a 4 o'clock guy. I carry at 4 o'clock.
What does that mean?
So this is noon, right?
Yeah.
This is noon. I carry at 4 o'clock.
Oh,
picture,
okay,
3
okay.
o'clock is direct on the hip. 4 o'clock, it's just right.
Oh,
over
it's
my,
a little bit
right
behind.
over my butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that gun goes off, it shouldn't, right? But if I'm pulling it out and doing something with it, I'd rather shoot my butt than, you know, the other
His banana.
My banana.
But-
you know, in the appendix carry. I don't want it in the appendix carry position. I don't like it. It
But
just
how
makes
do
me
you-
nervous.
We can
How-
edit that out.
But how do you? But how do you like? Is that a tactical? Like, how do you know if someone's going to come up behind you and grab it? You can't see them.
I do situational awareness. Just know what you're doing everywhere you go. Know who's behind you. Like I always know who's behind me. I always know where I'm at. Granted, I get lazy, like we all do.
Yeah.
But if there's somebody sketchy behind me, then I'm gonna position my body where my pistol's away from. Like it's just automatic. Like
The same thing. It goes back to if it's concealed,
if it's concealed, it doesn't matter.
unless they're looking, they're not really going to. I mean, general public's not going to know that it's there, which is that's an advantage.
Right.
If
You know,
something
So I would
goes
think it'd
south,
be a tactical advantage.
It 100% is.
Yeah. Did you know I have a gun on me right now?
Yeah.
No.
So you didn't know that. So like it's just you just conceal it and you keep it on you, and I hide it better back there. It's just more comfortable for me, but it's totally a preference thing. Like my buddy James and Tristan, they run appendix and they're fast as crap. Like Tristan is insanely fast from appendix. Like this guy's like it's stupid how fast he is, and that's why he's got like 25,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's just super fast, and he's he's fit and he's just can carry it there. I'm in and out of my truck all day. I hate it. I carry my gun all day, every day. A lot of these guys go to their offices and stuff don't. So like, yeah, walking around the mall or walking around wherever they are, appendix carry might make more sense because it's just faster here and you're out. I've trained enough at 4 o'clock where I feel proficient with it. I can get a shot off in under a second. So I feel fine with it. But back to the open carry, concealed carry thing. It's legal. So from a legal standpoint, you want to carry it open, like go for it, man. Like I'm not going to do that. But if you feel better and more proficient with an open carry, then I mean, that's your prerogative. But you don't ever see a fit young dude who trains or like former military guys or LEO guys carry open. They're all going to carry concealed.
It's
Yeah.
stupid.
You know, it's funny because I sometimes you see this stuff, and this one was funniest to me. But these, Hollywood types and stuff like that, and they're talking about how bad it is to. And this one was Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong.
Yes.
Hey, you're an idiot if you carry a gun. If you think you need to carry a gun, you're an idiot. Like you're never going to have to use the, And I just think it's like, why do these guys chime in? What?
Why?
The other thing is that like when you start talking about that, a lot of these folks have personal security that goes with them.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, no, I don't need a gun because I have 3 people with me that have them on them.
Yeah. You're a shield for me whenever shit hits. Sorry, whenever it hits the fan. Like, whenever it hits the fan, you're a shield for me if you don't have a gun. Like that's the way I look at it. Like if I'm in a scenario and there's a bad guy this way and I've got my gun and you're in the middle of it, like, hey, you're probably gonna take some rounds. That sucks, but I'm gonna take the threat out after you go down.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
so I know that's a little morbid. That's a little
no, but
that's a little,
it is. But it's like, how many other lives did you save?
yeah. I mean
It wasn't like you put the round in them.
I mean, if you would have had a gun on you and been training with it, then we would have been,
So how many people do you think that actually carry guns are proficient? Like, give it a percentage.
5%.
I mean, if law enforcement isn't,
high.
Yeah,
I bet you're
I bet
probably
it,
right.
it's
I
like,
bet.
it's probably less than 5%.
Yeah.
I'm around people all day, every day that train consistently.
Yeah.
So my view is a little skewed, but then I've got people like my dad, who I think carries a gun sometimes, but he carries it in his pocket and he carries like a little Beretta, like little thing. I'm like,
Little
Dad,
Derringer.
I'm like, Dad, when's the last
He's the
time
Barney
you
Five. He's
Yeah,
got it up
I'm
in his
like-
pocket.
I'm like, Dad, when's the last time you shot? Oh, I'll surprise you, son. This thing's got a laser on it. I'm like, how do you know that laser's on, Dad? Well, it's got to be close.
Is the battery still good?
Right. I'm just like, I own a gun range. Come freaking shoot your gun. Like he lives on 20 acres. Like go down in the woods and shoot your
Yeah.
pistol. Like
Right.
so there's that's a whole. If you're gonna carry a gun and you don't train with it, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like you are worthless. Like you are
Well,
to me.
you are sort of the problem.
You're the problem because like
level.
when
At least once a quarter, go out and
so
throw some lead down range.
my biggest. I don't go to a lot of public places. If I can't carry a gun, I normally don't go there. I don't like people. I don't like music events. I love football games. I love OU football games. I haven't been to one in a couple of years. But I don't go to somewhere where I can't carry a gun. So except church. And church is the scenario that I play through my head the whole time. Like I know exactly how I'm going to handle the situation. I know exactly what chair I'm going to sit in when I get to church because I know what I'm going to do. And that's just a level of forethought and it's just instinct now. Like everywhere I go, like I know how I'm going to handle it. And that's just kind of like, it's just my process of everything that I do. I want to have thought to it. And it's not a, oh my God, I'm going to get in a gunfight everywhere I go. It's like, if it happens, the 0.5% chance that it happens, I want to be ready because I want to protect my wife and daughter sit in church with me. My other kids are down the hallway at, their little kids deal.
Mhm.
Like my goal is to get them out of there. Right. And like, I'm sorry, but I don't care about you at church. I care about them and I care about how we're going to get out of here.
Mhm.
Like if something happens, like this is my prerogative. This is what I care about. So I look at that everywhere I go, like everything I do. If I'm in the mall, like I'm constantly scanning, and that sounds silly, and that's a stupid thing, but it's it's almost a paranoia thing.
Well,
I guess,
so it's not a paranoia deal,
Right.
Right. This is one of the things, and my wife, bless her heart, especially when we first started dating, I've always carried a gun. Always,
Mhm.
if you see me, got a gun on,
Right.
right? And so it took her a while to understand when we went into a restaurant or church or anything like that. There's certain places I'll sit, certain places I won't, right? My boys, just because they've grown up around it, are the exact same way.
Mhm.
It's not a paranoia deal. It doesn't matter how often you train if your mindset is not in a proper place.
correct.
Right? So playing scenarios through your head is as important, maybe if not more, than being proficient with that weapon. Because you can be as proficient as you want to be, and if your mind's not in the right place, and you haven't played that scenario through your head hundreds, if not thousands of times, maybe not the same one, but a majority of my training on the highway patrol, as much as I trained with my weapon, there was certain scenarios and there was a mindset. Every day I played through my head. Every day when I put a uniform on, I went through the motions. So I put my gun belt on. I would stand in the closet and I would do anywhere between 25 to 50 like out of the holster, come on target, out of the holster, come on target. Unbelievably proficient with getting that gun out, getting it on target quick, right? Dry firing's the same way. If you're going to be proficient with it, you have to do dry firing,
I agree.
right? So on top of that was me playing those situations out in my head. And in my head, there was never a gunfight that I lost. There was never a fight that I lost.
Mm-hmm.
So that when it happened, that I know, right, that my brain was prepared to at all cost win.
Oh yeah.
So it's the same thing, whether you're in law enforcement, whether you're a civilian. If you're not getting in the right mindset and you're not playing that over in your head constantly, that's not being paranoid. That's the society that we live in now. And that's okay, right? Now, if it starts interfering with other parts of your life, that's when it becomes a problem. But as far as just preparing for a situation or going in, there is a certain place that church, you bring up church, right? And if I can't sit in that place, I'm okay standing out in the foyer and listening to the service out there. I'm good with it. It doesn't bother me, but that's just me. That's who I am.
I get in,
Right.
I settle down, I look at this door, this door, this
Yeah.
door, this door. I play it through it in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, how am I going to handle? Somebody comes through there, somebody comes through there, somebody comes through there. How am I going to handle it? Where's my first step? Like what's my first motion? Like what's my first reaction? So and then after that, I calm down and everything's good because I know how I'm going to do it. Like I work it through my head a couple times while they're they're sitting there, the music's playing and people are just kind of getting in there, getting settled down, and they're sitting there sipping your coffee, just kind of looking around. Okay, how am I going to handle this? And then you go on with your day and everything's fine. But there's just a level of that goes into a lot of things, and we also just don't put ourselves in situations. Like we just don't go to places where we're going to be in those situations because I don't really enjoy any of that stuff anyways. So.
No, I'm with you.
But
I'm same way. And part of it was driven toward because of law enforcement.
Man, the stuff the scenarios you have to think about. I mean, like just because you might just be grappling with somebody. It might just be somebody who just comes at like, man, the mental preparedness you guys have to go through is next level. But
again, that goes back to that is not something that's necessarily taught or trained enough on. I mean, take the actual physical side of it out of it, but that mental and emotional training I'm telling you, it is as important. A lot of my buddies, I was blessed enough, I never had to pull the trigger in my 26 years, right? And truly was blessed in a couple of situations. But even those guys that I know that got in a gunfight and won, their mental preparation, hands down, played as big as a role as their actual manipulation of that firearm.
100%.
I mean, their mental preparation, they were not mentally weak individuals.
Yeah.
And I knew it going into it, right? And so and then we had guys even on our team that you're like, yeah, I mean, you're proficient with your firearm, but man, I don't know if you got it. Those are always the ones that I worried about. I didn't feel like that they were mentally prepared to do what they needed to do for us to get out. And I mean, I can tell you stories, but anyway, kind of getting off track there. But yeah,
with the instructor John, who I've trained with for 2 years, every 2 weeks. Haven't trained with him been a couple of months, but he's so scientific about how your brain works and like you train with him long enough, and he's the one that kind of beat all this into me. And he's like, you do this long enough, your brain's going to take over and you're not even going to know that you're doing it. And you're like, because you've played it out so many times and you've thought about it and you've practiced it, your brain's going to take over, your muscle memory's going to take over. You're going to go to work and you're going to be like, whoa, like that, like I just went into work, like just full blown, just took over, did what I needed to do, and it's done.
That's one of my pet peeves, and then we can jump. One of my pet peeves is, and I've heard law enforcement officers say it, is like, yeah, we train for that situation, but I don't know how actually I would react in it. Like, to me, you're already mentally defeated right there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where I'm like, you know what? I know exactly how. Now, I just don't ever let my brain go that way. And I have trained my brain that I don't care what situation, I'm coming out on top.
I'm going to win. Yeah.
Right? I joke with my boys. They've only tested me a couple of times where both my boys would jump on me. And I always say, it's like, boys, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Right? I said, I'm old for a reason. Because I don't fight fair, and there's going to come a day when you guys are going to be bigger and stronger. I'm still winning, boys.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And it's more of it is a mindset.
Oh yeah.
So look, that can go to anything in life, not just in a gunfight.
100%
is what you tell yourself that's a big deal.
100%.
Well, Mike Tyson, I love how he said it. He said you lose the battle between your ears before you ever physically lose it.
That's great.
And it's such a true statement. And so, like you said, you're already mentally prepared to fail.
I think so. I think if you're saying it out loud or thinking it, and I don't know how I would react in that situation, I think that you're doing yourself a disservice.
That's a really good analogy. I like that a lot.
See, I think I always go back to the Bible, and I think to myself, okay, well, there's two different thought tracks. You know, my pastor would say, why are you, quote, prepping for certain things? I mean, why are you stocking up all of these things when it's not biblical?
Right.
But there was, like, you got David, who trained with a sling, even though he didn't know from God why he was preparing with that sling, just so that the fact he was protecting his sheep. And then he absolutely used it in combat and said, no, I don't need your weapons of war because that's not my weapons of war. You know, don't give me the shield and all the armor. It makes me I can't move right.
Right.
And then you fast forward to Jesus, where Jesus tells his disciples, don't take anything with you. Go from town to town with your sandals, and don't even take food.
Right.
You know, and if there's a town that doesn't want to talk to you, dust your feet and move on to the next one.
Right.
And the word is so powerful.
It
and
is.
I think to myself, but there's also times where Jesus would have a attacking human being coming at him, yelling, screaming, because they're controlled by demons. And I believe that happens today. So how do you eliminate that? You know, Jesus eliminated it with his word. We're not Jesus, but we can try. But if that person is going to become between me and my family, I'm going to eliminate it.
Mm-hmm.
If I have the capacity to do that, that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
Tell us about, since we're on the topic of God, family, country, and how does that guide Kyle and your vision for Tactical 66?
So I said it earlier, like, I've gone to church my whole life. Like I've always, my dad grew up Catholic, and then I think my first memory of church was Methodist church, and then we went to Baptist church, and then we went to Life Church, and then we went to Crossings, and now we go, to Faith Church. And I've always been what I would call a lukewarm Christian, and I've always thought the churches that we're going to, and he'll appreciate this. It's like T-ball, like it's easy. It's really, really easy. And until I started reading the Bible and doing some Bible studies and like listening to some more podcasts and stuff, I just realized, like, gosh dang, like we're going to church for the coffee and getting in and getting out so we don't see anybody. And like, so, and that's changed, and that's recent for me to change that and trying to get in tune and really, like, I've never read the Bible front to back. I've done Bible studies. I've bought all these things and done all this stuff. The thing that changed my whole perspective, everything, is the Unashamed podcast, the Duck Dynasty guys, Jace Robertson and Al Robertson.
Great.
My favorite podcast. Those guys, they're just, if it's in this book, this is how we're going to do it. And I've never looked at it that way. Like, I'm going to form my own opinion of what it says in the book. And it's like, I'm just going to kind of pick and choose things out of there. And that's not how we're supposed to do it. And, but yeah, so that podcast changed my life. Like, it literally, those guys, like, I've always loved the Duck Dynasty guys. And what got me started to listen to the podcast was, we're just trying to find something not disgusting to watch with my kids. And I've got 3 boys that love to hunt and fish and do everything. We fish every day. Like, we live on this beautiful lake and we fish all the time. We duck hunt and do all this stuff. And I was like, well, I grew up watching Duck Dynasty. I think it came out after I was out of high school, but I was watching that like all the time. It was a great show. In February, we went down to the Duck Dynasty Warehouse Museum, the Duck Commander Museum.
Is it Louisiana?
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's in Louisiana. We went and saw that. We went and spent the night on our way to Florida in Monroe. Went to the Duck Dynasty Museum. My favorite, and then we went to Florida for a week, and then we came back and we stayed again and went to dinner and then left. That was my favorite part of the whole trip, going through there. We were there for 2 hours, and not Florida,
Just
like
flew
sitting on the beach was fine, but that deal there
Because
was
it was spiritual.
Awesome. It was spiritual. It was awesome. My wife's family is all from that area. They have, Katie's grandma has like 300 acres like in that area. So we went and saw that on our way back. We went by the land and walked all on it and stuff. And it was super fun. But yeah, so when the range thing popped up, I was just kind of getting into my new, like, I've always been a believer. I've always believed in God. I've always, but God would, like, he would say, I never knew you, basically, a year ago, right? And I started, really focusing on that and doing those things and doing my Bible studies and reading my things and listening to these podcasts and changing kind of the way I was thinking. And the range thing popped up. And then there was lots of other weird things in life that just popped up. And you're just like, whoa, like, that's kind of weird how these things just kind of happen. And the way I met our gunsmith, like James, who's in there, like, random as heck. Like, we went in there before we even knew we were buying the range. We went to Rainer Arms where James worked, and we just stopped in there one day after a home and garden show or something, and we spent $2,000 on getting my wife a new gun and holster and all this stuff, and because she wanted a new pistol to carry every day. She's a real estate agent. She wants to carry something. So I met James there, and then added him on Facebook. And then the range thing popped up, and he posted on Facebook one day, like, is there any shops open? I was like, dude, like, I've got a space right here that a gunsmith was in, like, come move in here. And it just worked out awesome. And then through James, I met Matt, who's a tattoo artist, who tattooed this cross on my wrist the other day.
I saw that on your. Yeah, he just got his license.
He did. He's had his license. He just got his certification from the state to move into our shop. So
Gotcha.
he moved into our gun range. We have a tattoo artist in our gun range, which is awesome. Matt is a deeply rooted faith guy. He's just a good dude. He's become one of my best friends, and so it's just weird how all these things have kind of happened, and like it's a God thing, and I put it in his hands 100%. And I'm just like riding the roller coaster. Like, here we go. Like, you got it. Like, we're good. Like, just everything's working along. I built homes my whole life. My dad built homes. His dad built homes, then did heat and air, and then his grandpa built. I mean, like, our family's been building for years, and I'm getting out of it. Like, I'm getting out of the custom home deal. Like, we build big custom homes, multi-million-dollar projects, $5, $6, $7 million, big, epic, 20,000 square foot homes. And my heart's just not in it anymore. Like, I just don't love it. And I've hated it for a long time. I've gotten out of it before. I went and got I was going to go be, for the longest time, I was going to be a firefighter. And then I was going to be a police officer, and I was going to do all these other things. And I always go back to construction because it makes a lot of money. It takes care of my family. It's what I know because I don't know anything else.
Sure.
Since I was 8 years old, I was picked up from school and taken to job sites and dropped off and did cleanup. There'd be a wheelbarrow with a ramp built into a dumpster. And my mom would say, your dad will be out here in a little bit to pick you up, but he wants you to pick up all the brick around the job site. And I would pick it up. So that's just all I ever knew was just construction. It made great money. You know who had the nicest truck in the parking lot? Me. You know who paid for it? Me. You know, whenever I was in high school,
Right.
you know? So my friends didn't have money to go to the movies. I was like, oh, I do. Let's go. I'll pay. You know? So there was a lot of stuff that was instilled for me from that aspect. And my heart is just kind of, it's been out of it for a long time, and just all these things that have come, and it's just crazy, like with the gun range and stuff. And so that's my plan, is to just do the gun range full time, do the store full time. We also own a liquor store, and we just opened it. We've been open a month, and that's doing good. So we're working with that, and then we're opening a batting cage. Like, we're building a big batting cage, big facility in Piedmont on some land that we bought because we sold a piece of property and made a ton of money and needed to park some money. Another God thing. So we just had this land sitting there. Crazy deal. Downtown Piedmont. But super cool. So, I mean, God was working in the background for years, and I just kind of, didn't really notice it. And now it's like, oh, thanks, dude. Like, you got my back. Like, I'm in. Like, I'm all in. Like, he got my attention. So it's pretty cool.
You feel like that definitely, like Paul says, you were drinking milk, and then you started eating meat, and the growth has been, you've been putting on weight, and learning, and
I have,
and biting into that.
I have, and I'm still new into a lot of this stuff, and I'm still learning a lot. And I've got a couple really good mentors, my business partners. So I have business partners on the gun range and on the liquor store. They're our best friends. And his name's Garrett, and his wife's Brittany, but he's very, like, he knows the Bible very well. He grew up in church, very, very, just all in forever. And I go to him with a lot of questions. Like, and he'll be like, ooh, he'll pull up the Bible verse and he'll show me. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, just random stuff. There's like a lot of things that, like, I'm learning and going through, because I've just gone off what the preachers have said. And a lot of these churches we go to, the preachers want to talk about their golf game or talk about, this or that. And they don't want to talk about the Bible. They'll read 2 Bible verses the whole entire service. And, I'm like, in my mind, that's been good. Oh, that was a fun service. That was really funny. He told a lot of jokes. And then you're like, you get out of church and you're like, or you start to get more into it, and you're like, wait a second. Like, yeah, that was a little relatable. Like, he told a funny story, but, like, I didn't learn anything. Like, he didn't tell me, this Bible verse in the Bible says this, and this is why we believe this, and this is how we interpret it or anything. Like, we didn't get into that. Like, our pastor was reading 1 Corinthians the other day, and he completely skipped the whole verse about women staying quiet in church and shouldn't lead in church. And he skipped that Bible verse and went on.
Oops.
And I'm just like,
you're picking up on it.
Like, why are we like, I understand it's a sore subject. Like, I get it. Like, that's tough. But did we skip it because people are going to walk out of your church and they're not going to have their butt in your seat in here anymore?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those things that are making me ask questions now.
So Kyle, I'm going to tell you something now. I'm just like, I think this is going to be really fascinating to get to know you more.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens is, I mean, I'm on this fire for 41. I was an atheist. 42. I accepted Christ. So,
Really? That's awesome.
yeah. 9 years or so. I bet you're going to be so amazed about what your life is like a couple of years from now if you continue down this road. Things that you thought, I can't believe I just did that.
Right.
I look at like Phil Robertson, which is a great example, and you're going to know where I'm going with this. But don't be surprised when this happens. Do you remember Phil Robertson's story when he was doing really well? I mean, he was above Terry Bradshaw as a quarterback, and walked away from football to go hunt ducks and do this kind of thing, and then he hit rock bottom and was getting in the bottle. He had a bar that he had opened up and took over, and it was actually doing well, as near as I can tell. And that actually took him to the bottom, the lowest of lows.
Right.
And he finally walked away.
Right.
I'm saying this to say, don't be surprised when you sell off a very, very successful liquor store one day.
Right. Yeah.
Because when God starts working on you, you can't help it, brother.
Right.
It just, and it feels right. And where you give up over here, he makes up over here for whatever reason. So it's exciting to see you at this part in your journey being, for your words, a lukewarm Christian, to being on fire, and the way that you go to and I have to, preface this, and I don't know how to say this exactly because I understand military guys, but right now the language is pretty salty at the club.
Oh yeah, it is.
And I'll be real with, when I was there, I loved everybody. I could feel it, but that was definitely something that was pulling at my spirit.
Yeah.
And I know what's going to happen. I know that you're going, because of the way you lead your life, that will start to subside.
Oh yeah.
It will be miraculous. It won't be like, oh, I'm going to post a no cussing, sign. It just will happen. That's what God does.
Oh yeah.
Is because you're a man of God and becoming more and closer, everyone else starts getting around and says, I don't have to be that way. I don't have to act that way. I don't have to and it starts to feel different. I mean, I never thought that I'd stop listening to rap music. I mean, Del City, man. I mean, no way am I going to stop listening to, Ice Cube. I grew up with those guys.
Right.
I didn't grow up with those, but I grew up with but now the day I look at it and say, that is one of the most, Lucifer was the cherub of music, the most powerful angel prepared music, and he is the one that descended from God. And so why do we think that music wouldn't influence us in a negative way? So what we put into our ears is such a powerful thing. And so now I find myself listening to gospel music more than anything. I thought, no way in my wildest dreams would I give up some of the music I was listening to. Man, I would just say, oh, I like the beat of it. It just makes me gets me going for a workout or whatever. And pretty soon you go, man, that just doesn't sound right to me anymore. Yeah. It's amazing how it transforms you.
It's almost disgusting. Like I feel it.
Yeah.
And I've felt that way forever. Like I know it's wrong, right? Yeah. Like you've known it was wrong. If you listen to some of that stuff, and I've never been into real like rap or anything. I was a kind of a metal kid in high school, and a lot of the metal bands I listened to were Christian, which was kind of cool. Like you didn't really know it, and I liked metal. I was a drummer, so like drummers, metal drumming is the most fun to drum, so that's how I got into metal. But I don't really listen to much music anymore. If I do, it's worship music. But my wife has always listened to worship music, always. And get in the car with her, I'd immediately change it. I don't change it anymore, so I leave it. I listen to podcasts. Like I drive a lot for going to construction site, job site. So I'm listening to podcasts. I'm trying to listen to music is nice sometimes, but like I don't feel like I'm growing. I'm just in my truck driving, so I might as well be growing a little bit, right? So I'm going to sit in my truck for an hour today, 2 hours today. I might as well try to grow instead of, listen to Morgan Wallen sing about some girl again,
Right.
Which I do love country music. I love country music. It's awesome. My wife loves to sing. So she's like a karaoke nut. She loves to sing.
Really?
Oh my gosh. And she's a fantastic singer.
Wow.
And she loves to sing like Strawberry Wine. And she loves to sing like these old classic, Reba songs and these old, and they're awesome. She's great. She did worship at church for a while too, and we just got too busy. But yeah, I get that a lot. And like the cussing thing, the language thing is bad at the range. Like, and it is like a lot of the guys that do it, like we're faith guys, like a lot of them are, big Christians, and it's been ingrained in them, a lot of military guys and stuff, because that's just how it sucks that's the culture and that's the way they are. And I slip up big time still. I've gotten a lot better at home, and I don't cuss around my boys. Like I used to have a rule with my sons, same thing Chris Pratt has. You might have heard of it. If we're hunting or fishing and you need to say a cuss word, that's the time. Because we're with Dad, and Dad can correct you, right? Like, because like it's funny.
Yeah.
The Chris Pratt story is hysterical. Look it up sometime. It's really funny. So I kind of put that rule with my sons, and then my son, I came around. We were on a fishing trip, and I came around the corner, and my daughter was there. We went with his whole family, and my son was sitting there. He's mad at my daughter, and he's sitting there and said a cuss word, like without me, and like in a mad and angry way. And so I grabbed him, like, we're not doing that. We're done. Like that rule's gone. So that rule's gone with all my boys now because he blew it. But like it's funny when you're down there with the dudes around the campfire, you know, catching a fish, and they get to say, you know, a dirty word, and it's like Dad gets to correct him and laugh, and like that's the premise of why I liked it. It was like, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it with me, and we're gonna do it with the dudes down around the campfire, and I'm gonna tell you, okay, you said that, like it was funny, but like this is the line, this is how we draw it. But that went away because of some funny stuff. But at the range, I'm catching myself being better about it. I still slip up. I think I said a cuss word a little bit ago, but I still slip up a lot. But I mean, we have church or our Bible study every other Thursday night at the range, and I mean, we just it's a man's group, and there's a lot of guys that are new in their faith. There's guys that have never. They're like, man, I saw it and I felt it on my heart to come, and I've never read the Bible. I'm not a Christian. Yeah. So it's really cool. Like we are turning a culture over there. Like there's some stuff happening there that's deeper than the training, and it's really cool.
That's big, and it is a culture deal. Unfortunately, I mean, I find myself depending on the group that I get around, whether or not my language gets bad, and I've gotten so much better. Yeah, but it is a thing, and I found, I mean, the whole lead by example deal is big, and if I can catch myself and start doing it, then I also notice that I don't have to say anything.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it is kind of, they're like, oh well, you know, Brett's not cussing, or I'm using alternative words or something, you know, in there to where I would normally drop an F-bomb or something else, and it is a big deal, and it is the whole, you said it a while ago, what goes in your ears. You know, whether it be music, what goes through your eyes, whether it be, you know, on television or anything else, and what comes out of your mouth, right? Trash in, trash out.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that's hard to do. Having two boys, it's the same. You know, it was kind of a guy's deal. You know, we'd get out, whether we were hunting or fishing or doing anything else, and like, hey, you know, you guys, and kind of the same thing. Is that he slipped up and cussed around his mom, and I'm like, hey, you moron. Yeah. You know, come on, dude.
I don't think I ever said a cuss word in front of my mom until like in my adult years. Like it would be like in a funny thing, like like cussing in front of my mom. Like maybe like that just made me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah. And that's what I said. That's what I told him. Like, dude, if that didn't make you feel uncomfortable, then it's a problem. Yeah. Right? So we're done. Yeah. And we try to hold each other accountable. With both my boys, but
I caught myself last week, and it was a conversation that was getting pretty serious, and I wanted to emphasize something. And as soon as I said it, I'm like, did I really need that? It didn't make it any better. I mean, it didn't make it, you know, like so. But man, thanks so much for the conversation. I love for having me, man. What you're doing, and I'm excited to be more involved and getting involved. We're honored to be able to do that.
Well, it's funny how we met. Like, I guess you're friends with Chris Prudham. So
well, that's my son, he works Caden.
That's right.
Yeah, as a plumber for Chris, and Chris has been awesome for Caden. Yeah, and loves going to work every day with him.
Chris is awesome. So Chris, they bought my grandpa's heat and air company.
Oh,
so my grandpa he did home buildings and developments and all this stuff, and then his dad actually had a heat and air supply company. My great grandpa, and then my grandpa started a heat and air company, and he did all our heat and air for years, and then Chris bought them out. And they reached out to us like, hey, we bought out your grandpa. Like, we'd like to meet with you guys. We're a father-son team, and we try to keep it that way with our subcontractors. Like, we'd like to keep them the small companies with the mom-pop shops, you know. And so we went and met with them, and we're like, oh, we love these guys, great dudes. Like, we're in. So we've used them for everything ever since. But yeah, I was like, he told me, he's like, hey, I want to come see the range. I want to come talk to you. I got something for you. It's like, okay. So he showed up at the range the other day, and he had some coffee and some mugs. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. And the biggest selling point is the coffee's good, because my wife is the most picky coffee snob I've ever met, and she drinks it black with a little bit of heavy cream. That's it. I brought it home, and she's like, "Well, let's try it." And we tried it. And she's like, "Okay." She's like, "It's good." I'm like, "All right, we can do what
good.
these
We
guys
can move
do."
forward.
Yeah,
My
we can
wife
move on
signed
now.
off on it, so the coffee's good, so we're good. So that was. I mean, you're in right there. Like you
That's
should,
it.
yeah, you should just go ahead and hang it up, man. You've done it.
Well, Kyle, thanks so much. Tell us, give us your socials, how to find you, where.
Yeah, so we're on Instagram, Facebook, 66 Tactical. We have matches every Tuesday night, and we post what the match is. I have to go post it today because I usually try to post it on Friday and I forgot. But we have matches every Tuesday night. We post a lot of stuff about training events, different things like the GBRS stuff. Then Fern, he's fixing to start doing some classes. We also have a website, and that's how you go and if you want to be a member, you go on our website, 66tactical.com, and you click new member interview. It's free to book it, and that just books it with me, Tyler, or Aaron. One of us will be there, and we show up and we just meet you. It's not we're not going to sit down and ask you a bunch of questions and make you fill out some paperwork. We're just going to ask you. We're just going to walk around. We're going to show you the range, show you the rules. Really, it's so special and so unique. Like, it needs to be a one-on-one introduction to everything and show you how everything works. Show you how to get the gym. There's an app on your phone that you use to get in and out. Show you how to use all that. Show you out on the range. We just put some turf down. We got some steel targets. We can't shoot steel with rifles because it's only 25 yards by 20 yards wide. So, it's just too close for rifles. So we show a lot of that stuff. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it.
Awesome.
But we're excited to have you guys. We got your coffee out there right now, sitting on the little carousel for the Keurig. So
Love it.
yeah.
Well, thanks.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you
That's
guys.
great. Thanks a
Kyle,
lot.
pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, you too, buddy.